and energize our free time. Something of only passing interest to one person can absorb another's passion and enthusiasm for life. Can any of you intuit Kanda's favorite hobby? Kanda will be the speech is titled Treasure on a Shelf. Kanda, Treasure on a Shelf.
Right.
Thank you, Mr. Toastmaster, fellow Toastmasters, and especially our guests. Well, over time, over the past many years, I've gone to a lot of homes to see about building cabinets for the people, or in this particular case, installing cabinets that we had built. We went, it was an elderly widow who lived at the time in Walnut Creek. She invited us to build an entertainment center for her television and her AV equipment. We went over to her house. We had already measured for the cabinets. We built the cabinets. We brought the cabinets to her house. And as we were putting them in, installing them, mounting them, scribing them to the wall, a task that I enjoyed doing, especially completing, right when we completed it, I noticed in her office, sitting on top of a shelf, there was a globe of the world. It looked unusual, looked different. The colors of the countries, the map, on the map, didn't look quite concurrent. And I said, well, how old is that globe? She says, oh, I don't know. My husband had it, and I've never really paid any attention to it since he passed away. I said, well, can I take a look at it? Sure, go ahead. So I reached up off the mantle, brought it down. Wow, look at this. This, I could tell right away that it was not the world as it is today, because all of these countries are red, which is the same color as Great Britain. All the red countries were part of the British Empire. And then I took a look, how old is this map? What clue can I find that'll tell me how old or when this globe was made? And I looked at Europe, because the map of Europe has changed a lot over the last century. I looked at Germany. Germany has absorbed Austria. It has absorbed the Sudetenland of Czechoslovakia. This is after Neville Chamberlain said peace in our time and gave part of Czechoslovakia to Hitler before World War II started. This globe was produced in 1938 or 1939. So wow, what else is unusual on this map? So I spent quite a bit of time looking over this globe, and she saw that I was very fascinated and interested in it. She said, well, you know, I don't really pay any attention to it. You can have it if you want. So wow, this was worth even more than the cost of the job that we did for them. So I took the globe home, I showed it to my family. Well, they were modestly interested, but I spent the next couple days just looking at the map, and said, there's a country known as, did you know there was a country named Kanda in between Mongolia and the Soviet Union? And then there was, of course, the British Empire is all these red-colored countries. So I do remember when I was a child, I had a globe from the 1950s, and the colors of the countries are the same color as they were then. It seems like it has been internationally decided that certain countries would have certain colors. Great Britain is always pink, and France is always kind of greenish, and China is always yellow. Well, China at the time included Mongolia, but Manchuria, the Manchuria part of China, is noted as Manchukuo, which is a protectorate of Japan at the time. Korea is not Korea. It has the Japanese name Chosen. I could go on and on about this. This is simply fascinating, both geography and history rolled into one. And you can see that there is no tomfoolery in this either. It is all truly the way the world was seen back in 1938. Some things I reflected on. You know, at the time, there were no satellites circling the globe photographing the exact way the world looked. Nevertheless, the map looks precisely the way it does now, because they had established the map of the world very clearly before satellites could photograph it. Now, I could go on and on about this, and I really have a thing about accuracy in maps. It really bothered me, just to let you know, that up until recently, Toastmasters, the map, did you ever notice that the map on the Toastmasters insignia is pretty clumsy? Europe looks like somebody threw mashed potatoes on the side of the map. This does not look like Europe. However, Toastmasters has improved, and they have a new logo which does not point out the inaccuracies in the map. It is left to your imagination, which is probably the best for somebody who is not a stickler for accuracy in maps or in historical fact. Nevertheless, I keep going back to my globe. I have it up on a mantle where I take it down every now and again and imagine what things were like in 1938. I am fascinated with, I am engaged with, I love maps, I love geography, and I love history. And if any of you have a passion as much as I do as that for anything, you are very blessed.